Hello, everybody. This is Bill, and welcome back to another edition of Billboard's Guiding Lines segment. This is a segment where we look at the new releases for the upcoming week. This time it's the week of uh, April 9th, 2025. Um, just a little stuff beforehand. I usually get these stuff from the League of Comic Geeks website. They have a pretty extensive kind of things, and a lot of stuff I see on here are like kind of like their stuff. I take like the pictures of the outfits all in one place. I will put a link starting today to their website in case you want to follow along or look for more information. Even clickable, like higher resolution, bigger versions of the variants, so you can take a look for yourselves and find out what the prices are and stuff like that. Um, but I just want to let you know that that's just where I'm getting from because it's not an exact science. I have noticed a number of books and like issues that were supposed to end 2 weeks ago and didn't end. And in my own personal collection, because I use that as kind of like to keep track of my collection when I go to my local comic shop and check it off when I get there. Um, yeah, but there a lot of stuff that they said was coming out on the second didn't come out on the second. Some was coming out this week or some coming out next week. As a matter of fact, in this presentation here, I have two items that I've already talked about in this segment, and the segment's only 3 weeks old. So take these with a grain of salt. This is supposed to be a guide, a guiding line as what might be coming out. If it isn't in your local comic book store, you could ask your the proprietor if you're in good terms with them. If you could look it up, he has access to the actual distributors' websites, and he has more of an exact idea about when it's going to come out. Sometimes changes happen, and I guess the League of Comic Geeks are not privy to it until the last minute. So, I just want to give that warning there for you, just to give you a heads up, and kind of like to stave off anyone like you told me this and it was wrong. I thought it was. I put the caveat on all of these that there might be subject to change, just because the situation for distribution is so volatile. Um, but yeah, so it's kind of like take this with a grain of salt. But if they're not there when you go Wednesday to pick up your books, uh, ask if you could have them put aside for you or something like that, or ask them when you might be coming in. Now that I got that out of the way, let's get to the big book of the week. The big book of the week, any week that has a new Amazing Spider-Man #1 coming out, that Amazing Spider-Man #1 will be as long as I'm doing this, the big book of the week. He's arguably one of the most famous, most well-known, most people who don't even collect comic books know who Spider-Man is. Everybody knows the character's been around. He's been like the corporate trade mascot for Marvel Comics for since the '60s, and he's a very important character. So him getting a new #1 is still kind of important, even though this is his 7th volume of Amazing Spider-Man that's starting now. And it's at least written by the guy who wrote the last issue of the last series, which I think came out in 2 weeks ago. And he's not lacking for any #1s. Between the numerous times that Webs of Spider-Man has been put out, and Marvel Team Up has been put out, and Spectacular Spider-Man has been put out, and Sensational Spider-Man has put out, and all the various one-shots and miniseries and crossovers and all kinds of stuff. There have been enough Spider-Man #1s to build a house with. Like we just wanted to then you'd have some pretty good insulation from the cold no matter where you put it. And as I said, this is going to be done by Joe Kelly, who I believe wrote the last the closing chapter of the last series, last volume 6. So this is a case of he's been gone away for months, he's gone away for even years, and it's just want to give him a rest and try to bring him back with big pomp and circumstance. This is Marvel's trademark Oh, sales are dipping a little bit. Might as well cancel the series we have and start with new number one. We'll probably have a little legacy number under two, like whatever it is, and stuff like that. Which I kind of find as being odious, but it must work because they do it a lot. Um, as I said, this new series is going to be. It seems to be doing like where a lot of his old time villains are coming back. Even some villains who have kind of like sashayed over to the side of like being kind of anti-heroes or good or bad and stuff like this, and working more on the side of the angels than that. And he doesn't know why, and it comes as a shock to him. It should be interesting to see that and see what the big plan is and where everybody lies on that, and and who's behind all of it. However, it is going to be published bi-weekly. Bi-weekly means it's going to be published every 2 weeks, so twice a month. You'll get a brand spanking, shiny new $5 Amazing Spider-Man comic book in your pull list if you decide to pull this. Add this to your pull list, which is kind of odious for me personally. On the one hand, you could say like books like say like the Delstry books. I'm sure Magdalene the name. They're big, oversized books. They cost like about $9 a piece per month. So what's the big deal? Like, what's the difference here? Because you know what? Spider-Man is Spider-Man, and you don't really need to have him published every 2 weeks unless you're trying to get as much money off people as you possibly can. It's a cash grab, and like this is not something new. It's been bi-weekly for about a couple of years already, and that's one reason why I gave up on the sixth volume. Was because like I was cutting back on my comic books, and right there, like I said in an earlier version, is Action Comics was going 4 times a week, 4 times a month. It's going weekly. Okay, well that's jettisoned. So and Spider-Man being twice a week has been jettisoned too. It's like, and I wonder how many people are going to follow that as well, because like I left early, but having the sixth volume end as it did might have given a lot of people to jump off. And who knows if the number of people who jumped off will match or be outweighed by the people jumping on with the new number one. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. It probably won't be that big of a difference to cause the character to go off publication and cause Marvel to want to sell it to DC Comics because it's done with it. But it part of me wants it to, so Marvel can learn its lesson. If you want to start a new number one, have a really good reason for it, not just because there's a slight dip in sales and you want to like just bump it up a little bit. Have a big reboot, have a big revamp, have a whole really big new direction, like you do a Brand New Day or stuff like that. Make it big if you're going to do it again, but you don't have to until this whole cancel and restart doesn't work for them. They're going to keep on doing that. But this one is going to be, like I said, it's going to be written by Joe Kelly. It's going to have art by Pepe Larraz and John Romita Jr. and Scott Hanna as pencil and inker. I don't know if this means like, I think Pepe Larraz is the main artist going forward on this, but I don't know if like they're going to have a special flashback with JR, or a second story in the book. The book is going to be 40 pages, slightly more than that. And actually, this one, instead of $4.99, it's going to cost you $5.99. So it's going to be $11 to get both these books this month if you want to. Congratulations. And colors on all of them will be by Marty Garcia, and letters by Marcia Minions. Minions. Menyz. I apologize if I massacred that name. I apologize for any massacring name I do from this point forward. So, and of course, since it's a brand new one from Marvel, there's going to be a whole bunch of variant covers. There's going to be 11. There's going to be 8 open order covers. One is going to be a blank variant. You could just take it to your local convention and have somebody draw a picture on it. Or you could draw it yourself if you want to. One, a Cafu Hellgate first appearance variant. One variant by Greg Land. another variant by Lee Bermeo, uh, another variant by Mark Chiarello. That's going to be a foil. Nimet Malavia, Black Cat variant, a Ryan Stegman variant, and a Simone de Mio variant. And you also have 3 incentive covers. In a 1 in 100 ratio, you'll have the Greg Land uh, variant, but in a virgin. And then you have a 1 in 50 variant of Gil Kane Hidden Gem variant. It's a cover done by Gil Kane, who classic Spider-Man artist, but who has been passed away for decades now. I guess the hidden gem means they found the artwork in a file someplace and decided to reuse it. Reuse, renew, recycle. And finally, it's going to be a 1 in 50 Nimet Malavia Black Cat Virgin variant. It's I guess, a virgin version of the variant that he has in the open order one. The solicitation said something about Frank Miller doing a variant on this. The League of Comic Book Geeks did not have anything about the Frank Miller version, so check with your local comic store and see what's up with that. Could be maybe he it's either delayed or whatever, or maybe it is showing up and it just wasn't listed on the League of Comic Book Geeks website. All right, so that's the big book. Now let's move into the voluminous number of first issues for this week. We're in luck because Marvel doesn't seem to have anyone except for Amazing Spider-Man. I guess it wants to give that a lot of room to breathe. But DC has quite a few. Has one at least. Let's say not quite a few. I'm sorry about that. The first issue that has is Fire and Ice When Hell Freezes Over, number 1. It'll be sold for a price of $3.99, and it'll have 32 pages. And it'll be a 6-issue miniseries. The writer on this will be Joan Sterer, who, as you know, wrote the high piece of artwork from 2 weeks ago, the Harley Quinn Fartacular. So hopefully we'll be able to find parts. Like maybe there'd be a whole segment of her, like fire, lights, ices, farts on a flame. Ooh, quality. Yeah, that's sarcasm there. She also wrote the 2023 miniseries featuring 2 characters. So this is kind of an ipso facto sequel to that. But the artist this time around is going to be a Stephen Byrne. And the cover will be by Terry and Rachel Dotson. There will be 3 open orders. 1 David Nakayama variant, I'm sorry. There'll be cover C Jeff DeCowell variant. And cover E would be David Nakayama foil virgin variant. I guess so his open order. And you can write that without actually having to have any kind of qualifications to it. There will be 1 incentive cover D, which is going to be a 1 in 25. It'll be a Kevin Wade variant. Basically, the plotline is going to be about like a tie into one of the big current threads throughout all the books since All In came out is and the Absolute Power miniseries is that a lot of the superheroes have had their powers taken away and they come back, or it's changed, it's different. Fire and Ice have had their powers shifted. Fire is now making ice is making fire, and they have to figure out how to do that. And somehow Zatanna is going to take a place in that. So, if you like, your comic book women, this is going to have 3 of the most popular, lustful items of many comic book collectors in it. Next, moving on to Image. I believe they have 2 new issues coming out this week. The first one is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Jinx number 1. It's a one-shot. Costs you $3.99 and has 32 pages. It's going to be written by Dan Waters and co-written and art by Danny, with colors from Brad Simpson. And Danny and Simpson will be doing the cover art as well on the main cover. It has 1 open order variant, cover B, which is a Jorge Fornes variant. and 2 incentive variants. A cover C, which is a 1 in 10 variant, by Danny Black. Danny Black and White variant. It's a copy of the main cover, only black and white. And a cover D variant, which is a 1 in 25 uh, incentive variant. It's the Jorge Formes cover, but it's the letter variant. They had a letter variant last week on one of their books. It's basically his artwork from his open order variant, but with the main artwork seen through the video of a window of an eye in G.I. Joe. So that's pretty neat effect. And this is going to be part of its Image's series of one-shots, this silent issue one-shots, in honor of G.I. Joe 21 from the Marvel series, which was a completely wordless exercise. So now they're doing for a number of characters, and Jinx is simply the next one up on the list. Also coming out new from Image this week is Golden Race, Mother Knows Best, number 1. It has 32 pages. It's selling for $3.99, and it looks like it's going to be a 5-issue series. Art is by Chrissy Williams, and art is by Lauren Knight, who's also going to do the cover too. This has one variant cover, a cover B, a Tula Lotte variant. Moving on to Dark Horse. Dark Horse has two new number ones coming out this week. One is Vatican City. Its price is $5.99. It has 40 pages, and it appears to be a 3-issue miniseries. It's part of the Millerverse, and of course, like all of them, it's written by Mark Millar, and art will be by Narwhal, who's also doing the main cover too. This series will have 2 other variant covers. Cover B will be a Narwhal black and white variant, and cover C will be a John McCrae variant. Pretty good covers. You can see, if you see them on the little thing there. And the concept is, of course, typical Mark Millar kind of like content. It's about, I guess, the vampires that took over the world, and the only safe place for humans is Vatican City, but the vampires are closing in. He's really good at doing high concepts and shocking kind of like stuff like that. So maybe if you're a fan of his or a fan of vampires, might be worthy picking up. And also from Dark Horse this week is the Great British Bump Off, Kill or Be Quilted, number 1. It is $4.99, 32 pages, and it's going to be a 4-issue miniseries. Written by John Allison, art by Max Sarin, colors by Sammy Barris, and letters by Jim Campbell. And Sarin and Barris will be doing the cover as well. There is only one other variant, cover B, which is Lissa Tremaine variant. This is a sequel to the 2023 Great British Big Bump Off, done by the same creators, the same team from top to bottom. But it's also going to, I guess, focus on the world of competitive quilting. It's wacky enough that I think it might be worth a look if you are so interested. Next, Only Press. They're going to do another version of Only Adventure Time. I guess that's still a popular thing going on. It is going to be $4.99. Looks like it's going to be 32 pages, and it's going to be an ongoing series. It's going to be written and drawn by a Nick Wingo, I think. And he's going to also do the cover too. There are going to be 6 open order variants that anybody could buy. Cover B will be by David Nakayama. Cover C will be by Trung Le Nguyen. Cover D will be a Tilly Walden variant. Cover E will be a blank variant. Cover F will be a thin blue blank variant. It's the same thing as the one before it, only it's going to be a blue color, like Finn's shirt. And cover G will be another David Nakayama gold foil variant. It's just going to be a gold foil version of his cover B variant. Um, so, okay, I gotta rest up for this. Gonna take a little drink of soda because next company up, Dynamite. I wish I had some booze in this. I don't drink that much, except when I really need it. All right, new from Variant this week is Red Sonja versus Army of Darkness. It's another one of their periodic like marrying of the properties. They do hold license to like the Army of Darkness and Evil Dead franchise to an extent, and of course they are the comic book home of Red Sonja, and they have been for years. So they're going to get together for looks like at least a 3-issue miniseries. That's all that I see is being solicited up to this point. I can't really see if it's going to last longer than that. I thought it's going to be an ongoing. So it might be more than 3, but I doubt that it's going to be ongoing. It's going to cost you $4.99, and it's going to be for 32 pages. It's going to be written by Tim Seeley, with art by Jim Terry, and the covers by Bjorn Berens. It has 13 open order variants. This is going to be a while. I would appreciate if you want to just kind of, if you want to go ahead, I will do a whole big like this, or maybe do the John Cena one to let you know that this is over. But there's a lot of variants for this one because that's how the Dynamite makes its money. First, cover B is by Tim Seeley. Cover C is by Mark Spears, one of the most popular cover artists in the world today. Cover D will be a Nicole Jelinek variant. Cover E will be the Mark Spears variant, only in foil. The cover F variant will be a Mark Spears version foil. Cover G will be a blank Authentics version, which would be like nothing on it. Cover H will be a Mark Spears metal version variant. It's going to be no trade dress, but it's going to be metal. So it's not going to be foil. It's going to be like actual thicker material, I imagine, suitable for killing your enemies in the most bloody way possible if you learn how to fling it that way. Cover I will be a Bjorn Berens holo foil, I guess holographic foil. Cover J will be a Mark Spears version variant. Yeah, Diamond heard that you like your Mark Spears, so he put some Mark Spears in your Mark Spears. That's my favorite gag from the internet about Exhibit and Pimp My Ride, and I'll use it again. I'm sorry. I apologize a lot, so I'm sorry for apologizing. Cover R, kind of a big jump there from J to R, but you'll see because they backtrack in the incentive variants. Cover R will be Mark Spears with a white background. Yes, ringing every day they can. It's just like, well, the background's blue. Okay, we'll make it white. The only thing could be worse if they make it a green background. Cover S will be a Mark Spears white foil. Cover T will be Mark Spears white foil virgin. And cover U will be a red blank Authentics. It's going to be a blank cover, only in red instead of white this time. Now on to the incentive covers, of which there are 10. Okay, cover K. See how we went back? Cover K is 1 in 10 Bjorn Berens foil variant. I guess that's the main cover. Cover L will be a 1 in 10 Tim Seeley black and white variant. It's going to be a black and white variant of his open order variant. Cover M will be a 1/15 Bjorn Berens foil version, which is a foil version of the his cover K variant. Cover N will be a 1 in 15 Nicole Jelinek virgin variant. Cover O will be a 1 in 20 Tim Seeley black and white Virgin variant. Cover P will be a 1 in 25 Bjorn Berend's Virgin variant. Cover Q will be a 1 in 30 Tim Seeley Virgin variant. Cover V will be a 1 in 10 Mark Spears Green version. So you could get like the regular color, the white color, and the green color. Um, I knew that ahead of time. I got to admit I was cheating a little bit. I knew it was coming up, so that's why I said that. I apologize again. You can't stop me from apologizing. And cover X will be a 1 in 20 Mark Spears White Virgin variant. Uh, one, two. Oh, cover W, I think I might have missed, is a 1 in 15 Mark Spears Green Virgin variant. So you have, let me just count up the Mark Spears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have 11, according to my count, I could be wrong, Mark Spears variants for this issue alone. And if you buy all of them, of course, they're not all $4.99. Some of them might be up to like $7.99 and stuff like this. I didn't really go through prices, all the variants and stuff like this. I probably won't because this is already becoming much too much of a labor-intensive for the amount of hits I get. But you could probably, I think Dynamite has paid for his whole print run if you get all the Mark Spears variants. So just think of less of you're collecting Mark Spears and you otherwise, and think of more as being you supporting Dynamite in their time of need. And next is two retailer exclusives. Both are from 616 Comic. Both are done by Cedric Poulet, and it's going to be a Virgin variant and a color splash Virgin, which is basically like it's going to be mostly black and white, but has red accents where it needs to, like her hair, the blood splatters, and stuff like that. So that does it for Dynamite. Whew, thank God. At least it only has one. The second book from Dynamite this week is Giant Size Wacky Races #1. This is a one-shot. It's 48 pages and it costs you $4.99. Yes. The price point. You get 16 more pages and pay the same price. The writings by Evan Cohen, art by Mariano Benitez Chapo, and cover will be by Nick Caron. Coloring by Nick Caron, and cover by Joseph Michael Linzer, for Cry for Dawn fame. There are variants, surprise, but luckily there's only like 11 variants, so they kind of like went easy. So, okay, I'll do the whole handwrite for people after this. 6 open order variants. Cover B, Edwin Gallman. Cover C will be Robert Hack. Cover D will be a blank authentic version, just like not a version, where we get like it's just a trade dress alone. You could have people draw on it. You know how it is. Cover E will be Joseph Michael Linzer metal version. Cover F will be a Joseph Michael Linzer version, just on regular paper. And cover K will be a yellow blank authentics variant. It's the same thing as the white one, only in yellow color. And there'll be 5 incentive covers. Cover G will be a 1 in 16 Joseph Michael Linzer black and white variant, because of the main cover. Cover H will be a 1 in 15 Robert Hack Virgin variant. Cover I will be a 1 in 20 Joseph Michael Linzer variant. I don't know. Black and white variant. Sorry about that. Black and white Virgin variant. I took extra time to actually make sure my writing was actually correct. I took my time writing this, and I still can't read it. I think I need new glasses, but maybe you could help me by telling all your friends to subscribe, so I could fall somewhere on the algorithm for YouTube where to get money. Let's see, where was I? Cover J is the 1 in 25 Edwin Gallman version. And cover L would be a 1 in 7 Joseph Michael Linzer red uh, variant, red line variant. So that's it for Dynamite. Welcome back to everybody who decided to not listen to me talk about Dynamite's variants. We're going to pick this back up with Alien Books this time. They have one book out. It's Valiant Beyond, Tales of the Shadow Man, #1. It'll cost you $3.99. It has 28 pages and appears to be an ongoing series. I only see 3 listed on the League of Comics website, but it does say it's the end of the third one is the end of the first arc. So that typically means there's going to be more to come after it. It's going to be written by AJ Ampando, art by Sergio Mijes, I think, and a cover by Damian Connolly. Keep a hold of that name; you'll hear him a little bit later. There is going to be 5 open order variants. Cover B will be by Sebastian Cabrol. Cover C will be by Momoshu. Cover D will be a Damien Conley Virgin variant. I guess that's the main cover. Cover E will be a variant cover from Sebastian Cabrol's a Virgin. And cover F will be a Momoshu version of their variant cover. Next up to Xenoscope. Xenoscope has one coming out according to the League of Comic Geeks. Xenoscope Legends Spring 2025, #1. This will cost you $6.99 for 48 pages, and it is a one-shot. They only list the writer for the issue, writer by Joe Busha. They don't list the artist. It might be like a varied array of writers for you. Cover will be by Mario Santucci. There'll be 3 other covers. I think they're open order because they didn't specify. Cover B would be by Jordi Tarragona. Cover C by Michael Dooney. And cover D will be by Josh Burns. I guess cover A would be the main cover by Santucci. All right. Next up for first issues, we're going to go to the Legacy Comics. It's going to be Condry, Prayer for the Dying, #1. It's a $4.99 one-shot. It looks like a prequel to another series that came before. I wasn't familiar with it. If you are, and you're looking for the preview, this is the prequel. This is when it came out. It's written by Patrick Hickey Jr. and art by Phil Mayenza. There'll be one other cover, a Mike LeMay variant. And the final new book is a old book, or familiar book for people who watched this segment last week. It is we still go out. We only go out when it gets dark. It's a $4.99 one shot. Writer and art by Damian Connolly, the guy who did the cover for the Valiant Shadow Man book. He's also doing the cover for this one too. And looks like there's no other variants for this. There wasn't any variants when it was listed last week, but this was on this list last week. And there's comments on the League of Geeks below. They have comments about each new issue, and apparently this has been delayed for quite some time. So we might have to do a whole come up with a policy about I only do this full thing with the pictures and everything for 3 times. And if you're not out with, if you're on the solicitation and don't come out after the 3rd time, I'm just going to say, hey, by the way, we're still waiting on that thing from 2 weeks ago. So that means this is a 2nd strike. So, not that they even care. They don't even know who I am, but I'm not going to keep on. My voice is starting to go already. I'm not even halfway done. Sorry. Next, we're going to go to last issues. Okay, these are going to be issues that, in case they have come to an end, that you are might wanted to look for trades. To, if you missed them in the individual issues, now's your time to start looking for the trades and try to pick them up that way. First up, we'll go with Marvel. They have one, and it appears to be the Alien Para Paradises, I believe. Um, it's $3.99 with 32 pages, written by Steve Fox, art by Edgar Salazar and Peter Nguyen, and we'll have a cover by Ivan Coelho. You have one other variant cover, a J. Canto variant. Uh, Disney has DC. I'm sorry, has our other repeat guest from a week ago. Is the DC horror preview Creature Commandos, $4.99 for 32 pages, written by David Dastmalchian, the actor from Suicide Squad and Dark Knight and Ant-Man, and art by Jesus Herrevias, and colors by Alex Gutierrez. The cover will be by Terso Cons. It has one other cover, a cover B by Michael Walsh. This again in the comments had people talking about how late it was. So once again, this might be another recurring thing to the list. This is the second time it's appeared on the list. After the next time, I'm just going to mention that, it still hasn't come out. It might come out this week, and I'm not going to do a whole rigmarole of doing the variants and whatnot. Hope that's okay with you. If it's not, let me know in the comments. If it is, give me the thumbs up, like it, or whatever, or do stuff like that. Next into the independents now, we're going to go into Battle Quest Comics. The 27 run, Crash number 3. This will set you back $4.99. It's written by Justin Zimmerman and has artwork by Russell Brown, who also does the cover. It has one incentive cover, a cover B, Clayton Crane drawn cover. It seems like the plot of this was basically like kind of like a Pacific Rim Godzilla kind of thing going on there. And if that's your thing, you might want to look at this. I don't know if they're going to come up trade with it, but if they do, be on the lookout for it. Next up is IDW, and this is the first cancellation on the list. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Night Watcher. $3.99, 32 pages. Has writing by Juni Ba and art by Ferro Penicha, who also does the cover as well. It has one open order variant, a cover B done by Juni Ba. I guess the writer's also an artist, but he just didn't do the artwork by himself on the thing. And there's going to be one incentive cover variant, a 1 in 10 by Michael Shelfer. This is a series that deals with the I don't know if we could call it controversial, but I guess in some aspects it might be controversial. Female turtle, Jenica. And some people like it, some people don't. But this is the last issue. It was canceled as of this issue. So this is not the natural end for the series. This is just like when IDW decided to pull the plug on it. But again, who knows if it does fall on trade? If you're sorry you missed it, you didn't even know it happened. Buy the trade, and maybe if you have enough good numbers on there, the character might make a return somewhere down the line. Moving on to Keen Spot. Die Hard, number 3. It cost you $5.99. Written by Rob Pochok and artwork and cover by Jay Hammond. There are no variants for this one. It's basically a kind of like the Easter Bunny as John McClane. Basically, he's trapped in a building that's people have been taken hostage, and he has to fight his way through in the most bloody way possible. Seems like a pretty funny, goofy concept. I don't know if it's going to come out in some other form after this, but be on the lookout for it, or be on the lookout for you in your back issue bins. Next up, we're going to have a final issue from Titan Books. It's Lenore, the Time War #3, $4.99, 32 pages. This is written and drawn, as all the Lenore series are, by Warman Dirge. He's also doing the cover too. There'll be one other cover for this series, cover B, which is by Kit Walls. Didn't have any image for it, so that's why you're not seeing anything on your screen right now for it. Lenore, it has been around for a while. It's kind of like Emily Strange, but different. It's haven't really read it much of it, but I want to. It really intrigues me. Maybe at some point I'll try to like just keep an eye out if a new series comes out. But they do come with a series with a character every so often, always done by Roman Dirge. So be on the lookout for that if it comes out in trade or in the future. Next, we're moving on to Udon. And if you know it's Udon, you know it's got to be some book revolved around the fighting game. And that would be Final Fight. I believe it's number 4. It'll cost you $4.99. It's written by Mike Moylan and artwork by Matthew Welloon. Sorry about that. One open order variant, cover B by Joel Ng. Joel Ng. I have somebody whose last name is Ng, and I screwed it up. I'm sorry. I know somebody with their last name, I should say. I don't have somebody. It's not like she's not in my basement. And there's going to be one incentive variant, cover C, a 1 in 5, by Matthew Walden. Weldon. That's the artist. Weldon, not Waldoon. All right. Those are all the final issues there. If you any of those kind of like pique your interest or anything like that, check out your local comic book store for some kind of collection in the near future, or even previews. Haven't put aside for you. Now we're going to moving on to comics of note.
Hmm?
We're going to start off with Marvel. The first one I want to talk about is Daredevil number 20. It'll cost you $4.99 and it has 32 pages. It's written by Saladin Ahmed. Pencils by Jose Luis Suarez Pinto. Inking by Oren Jr. Colors by Jesus Abator. And it has 4 open order variants. Chris Giarrusso, Marvel Universe Wrapped Connecting variant. It's his version of like the official cover to the official handbook of the Marvel Universe. Philip Tan, one by Ryan Mirandering, and a Todd Knock Iconic version. There's one incentive cover, a 1 in 50, which takes the Chris Giarrusso cover, but does a blue line sketch variant of it. The reason why I'm putting this out is because it's going to be a new arc and a brand new enemy. Next up will be Uncanny X-Men, I believe number 13. It is $4.99 and 32 pages, written by Gail Simone, art by David Marquez, colors by Matt Wilson, and letters by Clayton Cowles. It is going to be 4. Also, Clayton Cowles is going to do the lettering on the Daredevil one too. I forgot to mention that. I'm sorry. There'll be 4 open order variants. One is a Bengus Marvel vs. Capcom variant. Chris Giarrusso's Marvel Universe Wraparound Connecting cover is also going to be on this book as well. There's going to be a David Mack variant. And finally, a Luciano Vecchio Death Dream variant. He's a character, I guess, from the series. There's going to be 2 incentive variants. Again, like as with Daredevil, a 1 in 50 Chris Giarrusso one, it's going to be a blue line sketch variant of his Marvel Universe cover. And a 1 in 50 Luciano Vecchio Becco Death Dream version variant. I guess it's the version variant of his Open Order variant. It's going to be the start of a new story uh, called Dark Artery. Gail Simone, a perfect jumping on point for this in case you didn't uh, get on and get going. Um, and another good jumping on point comes from DC, Absolute Batman #7. This will cost you $4.99 and it has 32 pages. It's written by Scott Snyder. It has artwork by Marcos Martin. He's going to be filling in for the Nick Dragotta for a couple issues. Colors by Moonsta Vincente. And the cover will be have art from Nick Dragotta and colors from Frank Martin. There'll be 2 open order variants. Cover B by Mikos Sorian and cover C by Bill Sienkiewicz. And 2 incentive covers. Cover D, a 1 in 25 by Amy Reeder, and cover E, a 1 in 50 by Charlie Adlard, Virgin. He's the guy from The Walking Dead, in case you couldn't tell from my mangling of his last name. It's going to be a new storyline. It's going to be a 2-parter. It's going to introduce the Joker and Mr. Freeze into the Absolute Batman continuity. Joker has already been like kind of hinted and already, so he's probably going to make his big debut in the spotlight. And of course, Dr. Freeze, Mr. Freeze, is always a welcome addition to any kind of comic book that stars Batman. Next up, Image Comics. Thunderbolts, not Thunderbolts, they're Transformers #19. Yeah, Marvel sold Thunderbolts on the eve of the opening of their movie to Image. For what reason? Why? No reason. No, this is Transformers #19. It'll be $3.99, and it'll be 32 pages. It'll be written by Daniel Warren Johnson. Artwork by Ludo the Lobby. And the colors will be by Mike Spicer. The cover will have artwork by Daniel Warren Johnson and colors by Mike Spicer. There'll be 2 open order variants. Cover B by Jorge Corona, and cover G will be a blank version of it with the trade dress, so you could get your sketch covers done. There'll be 4 incentive covers. Cover C will be by David Nakayama, a 1 in 10. And it's going to be part of a connecting covers he's been doing for the series. Cover D, 1 in 25 by Steak Brock. Cover E, a 1 in 50 by Fred Pham Chuang. Cover F will be a 1 in 100 Lulabi foil. I guess that's of his the main different cover. There will be 6 retailer exclusives. 2 will be coming from 616 Comics. Both will be done by Raymond Gay. There'll be a version variant and a foil version variant of the same cover. 2 from Big Time Collectibles, done by Freelia Abrigo. 1 is going to be the C2E2 2025 foil version, and the second one will be a gold membership box foil version. The next one is from Comic Exposure. It's going to be a C2E2 2025 Matthew Waite version, and a Presto's Comic Shop High Horse Comics C2E2 2025 Matthew Waite variant. This is going to be a new arc for the series, and it's going to answer the question of what happened to Megatron. Where's Megatron been all this time? Something that fans have been clamoring for a while. So, pretty good jumping on point, and also if you want to like take a read of it, and if you think Megatron is the coolest thing since sliced bread, this is here for you. Next on, we have 2 facilities, and then I'll be out of your hair for another week with this segment. First of all, from Marvel's, we are getting another facsimile of Star Wars. They had one a couple years ago, but now they're coming out with another one. Looks like there will be 6 variants on this. A 1 in 25 incentive variant by Jerry Ordway, black and white. 2025 Comic Spot C2E2 Tyler Kirkham variant. A 2025 Comic Spot Star Wars Celebration Tyler Kirkham version variant. There will be a foil variant of the original cover by Harold Chaykin. There'll be an Unknown Comics Star Wars Celebration David Nakayama variant. And Unknown Comics will be also doing another version of the David Nakayama cover, only in a Virgin variant this time. The next up in the line of facsimiles is DC. And they are doing a facsimile copy. I feel like I'm more fun there. Superman 233. As you can see up on the screen, it's the cover, iconic cover where he's bursting loose of the chains, free from the bonds of kryptonite, I believe, for at least a year or two. Looks like there will be 3 variants: 1 blank, 1 foil, and 1 looks like John Jenner Superpowers variant, where it looks like he is Superpowers toy. And that's it for this week. If there's anything you think I missed that deserved a mention here, please leave it in the comments. If anything during the week does not come out in your local shop, put it in the comments. Let me know, and I'll try to look on for next week's. But until next time, keep on collecting.